Section 6 of The Rural Magazine and Literary Evening Fireside, Volume 1, Number 2. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Louise J. Bell. The Rural Magazine and Literary Evening Fireside, Volume 1, Number 2, by Various. Section 6. History. There is scarcely anything which is more injurious to the mind, or which will more effectually prevent the acquisition of knowledge, than a habit of reading for amusement only. For it will necessarily happen that impressions, which have not been strengthened by reflection, will be quickly obliterated, and we cannot expect to derive permanent advantage from the mere pursuit of temporary enjoyment. To obviate the effects of a practice so pernicious, and to accustom the mind to the investigation of causes, the study of history is peculiarly adapted. For while it furnishes to the reflecting mind ample room for the exercise of its powers, it is in itself sufficiently attractive to engage the attention of the most careless reader. It is indeed delightful to steal from all we may be or have been before, to associate with men upon whom a world has gazed with fear and wonder, to mingle in the conflicts of nations, and to dwell upon the restlessness of ambition, the fearless perseverance of patriotism. Nor is it less instructive to mark the gradual unfoldings of virtuous or vicious propensities, and to observe how frequently the sacrifice of all the enjoyments of life to the attainment of some favorite objects has been rewarded with the hopeless gloom attendant upon satiety. History may thus be said to convey to us the experience of ages, and he must be an indifferent or a prejudiced observer who cannot find his own feelings portrayed in the motives which it develops. But with whatever views we may have undertaken this important study, we shall find it fruitless of permanent benefit unless we shall have been impressed with the conviction of the absolute necessity of examining into the evidence of facts and the correctness of deductions. It is thus only that we can be preserved from the danger of imbibing erroneous opinions on subjects affecting the common prejudices of mankind, or the peculiar doctrines of our authors. It is this assumption of popular sentiments which has degraded the human character, and reduced the highest intellectual powers to a dependence upon the lowest. And it is this reliance upon the impartiality of the historian which has lent its assistance to the speculations of a false philosophy, in leading men into all the wanderings of skepticism. Let the student of history who is in pursuit of truth endeavor to acquaint himself with the private opinions of the author whom he has taken for his guide, and let him beware lest he admit any conclusion, however unimportant, which may seem to be at variance with the dictates of reason or of experience. Two important ends will thus be attained. By establishing a connection between the events detailed in history and the reasonings founded upon them, they will be more likely to be retained in the memory, and by convincing himself of the fallacies in the arguments of its opponents, the reality of any truth will be more deeply impressed upon the mind. He who is thus habituated to scrutiny will derive instruction from the errors of those with whom he is conversant, and may be compared, to borrow from the beautiful simile of Bishop Horne, to those who visit the country in spring, for whom the very hedges are in bloom, and every thorn produces a flower. C. End of section 6. Recording by Louise J. Bell. Sebastopol, California.